Welcome to the 2023 UBC Draft. Tonight we're going to find out all the lineups for the Ultimate Week to be held at Warilla in August 6 to 11. I'm Chris Green, joined by Mark Casey and Sophie Kurzman. Welcome, guys.
Thanks, Granny. Great to be here.
Case, we're going to start with you. Since Moama, there has been a number of structural changes to the UBC. Do you want to tell our viewers a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we've obviously spoken to the team owners about getting their feedback, and it's quite clear that lowering the entry fees was a major part of what we need to do to make it more sustainable for them to stay in our events. So, the response has been incredible. We've got a number of new teams, but also we've retained everyone. So we're in for an exciting couple of years, and yeah, we can't wait.
Exciting for sure. And Sophie, one of the changes was the option to pre-select female players and a little bit of a reward there. And for the first time, we've actually got 3 pre-selected female players, and Amity Bickley, Selena Goddard, and also Dawn Heyman. That's exciting.
Very, yeah. I've always been a big supporter and ambassador of female representation in the sport, and obviously we've seen females, be involved throughout the events of the past, but to see 3 pre-selected is really exciting. So I wish them all the best, and I'm sure that they're going to do such a great job.
Absolutely. In case we've spoke about retaining a number of the UBC teams, a lot of the foundation sides, but also a lot of new teams. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, it's been fantastic to welcome in a number of new teams, but particularly St John's Park, probably the most prestigious club in the world. So to welcome them into the UBC, it's been a number of years that we've been trying to get them on board, but to get them in, it's been fantastic. And we've also got the Brighton team, another Melbourne team, which is great. Bundura, which is another team under the Tony Chiavello banner. So welcome those guys. But a Tasmanian team for the first time as well, Greenie, Port Sorell Sharks. So great to have them in, and a major sponsor, Superloop. So it's been a great couple of months, and yeah, we can't wait now for August.
Yeah, really good news there. And just look, the teams and where they're from, it's just growing, all the regions. You just spoke about Tasmania. We've got all the overseas countries as well involved, a lot of overseas players. You spoke about St John's Park. There'll be no nerves at St John's Park because they've pre-selected 3 players. Talking about teams who have pre-selected 1, 2 or 3 players, generally you're looking at the combinations, so the people who have played before, the tried, the tested, the people who perform very well. So you've got your Dandenong, you've got Warilla, Exodus. The point of actually going with some of the Geelong Clippers players, Harley McDonald and Ray Pearce. So I think it's all about the combinations with the UBC. Yeah,
and why wouldn't you when they've been so successful over the last few years, particularly the Warilla team on their home deck as well. Corey, Aaron and Jezza will go extremely well there, but there's going to be some good combinations, and yeah, we're about to find out.
Absolutely, and Warilla are another one of those sides with 3 pre-selected players. So pretty much what's installed tonight with the draft is there is going to be 3 rounds. There is 26 teams in the UBC, but not all the teams will be picking. You see the numbers there, 1 to 26. Team 15, Newlyn Spiders, their venture for their franchise, they've got 2 qualifying sides, and one of them sides is pre-selected because, as we know, with the Ultimate Week, there is 3 events in one, so each has 2 days. St John's Park, they're on 20, the UBC Wildcard 24, which will be drawn later, and Warilla Gorillas is 25. So 3 rounds of the draft, and we'll head to Sophie and round 1 of the draft to start right away. Beautiful. You will be the first pick for the UBC Draft 2023.
First team is Team 21.
Streaky Bay Sharks select player Nathan Black, one of our rising up-and-comers, South Australian boy.
Yeah, that's really good to see. And Streaky Bay, in the past, gone with a number of different players. Ben Twister's generally been sort of a steady player there with Streaky Bay. So to get Nathan Black, because obviously Twisty picked up on his home club, and that is St John's Park Saints. So, great start there, Nathan Black, the number 1 draftee for the 2023 UBC draft.
Team number 6.
Deer Park Blue select player Nathan Bush. Great to have Bushy on board with his local club, Deer Park. So
Club
he joins Wilson and McElroy.
Nice line up there. That's the first Deer Park side sorted. There is 2 Deer Park sides in the UBC.
I'm very happy about
that. We've got team number 16.
Payalba Phoenix select Mark Armstrong.
Well, great to have Mark in the UBC. He's a great supporter. He got his chance when we were playing just 2 events ago, and he's got his own franchise now, so that's great to see Mark in the UBC. Payalba Phoenix.
Number 23.
The Point select Kyle Hansen.
Yeah, good reward there for young Kyle. He's greenkeeper of the club. He's also one of the emerging Australian Jackaroos players. Just at the moment, he's competing in the New South Wales champion singles. So, good reward there. And he'll be joining Wade Pearson up at Geelong, we were talking about earlier. They've had prior success with Geelong Clippers.
Team number 13.
Moama Green select Wayne Turley.
Well, that was a side to be reckoned with at Moama. Ryan Bester, Kevy Anderson and Wayne Turley. We saw what they could provide at Moama in their home greens. So let's see what they can bring to Warilla.
They were near on unstoppable, weren't they?
Absolutely.
Team number 26.
Whittlesea Eagles select Blake Nahn. Again, Blake was outstanding last year with that winning team at Whittlesea.
He was a late fill-in too. Just the energy he brought to the rink as well. Him and Leroy. Ben Winter, he was a third player there. We'll wait and see who their third player is here. It might be Benny or someone else.
Team number 1.
Asia Eagles select Su Ying Yi.
Yeah, no real surprise there, Case. I'd expect the Bowls, Asia, Eagles and Tigers to go with the sort of the players they know very well. And there's a number of capable bowlers over there, world champions, and some of the great international players. So we'll wait and see who they pick later on.
Next up, we've got team number 2.
Asia Tigers select Ziti Selina Ahmed.
Well, there you go. We're just talking about the Bowls Asia outfits, and there you can't get much better than Zelina, can you?
Obviously, Lena's one of the most respected female players in the world, so great to have her on board again.
Team number 8.
Exodus Blue selects Nick Kale.
Well, Case, that's a big pickup for Exodus there, and it's another one of those franchises which now have 2 sides. So that's a real big pickup there. Aaron Sheriff, Matty Bouse and Nick Kale. That's a big pickup.
That connection with Sheriff at Broadbeach too probably plays a part in this team.
Yeah.
Nick Kale, fantastic young player.
We've got team number 4.
Bundoora select Ben Winther.
Well, there we were just talking about Benny with Whittlesea Eagles, so he'll be changing jumpers and he'll be under one of the new franchises, Bundoora. Great to see Bundoora in the UBC.
Yeah, and Ben's a fantastic Victorian player. He may well be joining Bundoora this pennant season, so we'll see what happens there.
Could be breaking news, Case.
Team number 17.
Port Sorrel Sharks select Cody Marshall.
A little bit of history there. So Amity was the pre-selected player, but for the Sharks there, this is their first ever draft pick. So well done to Cody Marshall. Okay, we're getting through round 1 pretty quick. There's only 22 teams to go, so.
Number 11.
Golden State select Dan Lomez.
Dan the man, he brings a lot to the UBC, a lot of passion there, and it's great to see he'll be playing with Selina Goddard, who was the pre-selected player. They've gone with new branding, so a new strategy.
Looks
we'll
good,
wait and
doesn't
see.
it? Yeah.
So 22 teams in round 1, 15 teams in round 2, and 8 in round 3.
Team number 9.
Exodus White select Scott Thobon.
Scotty T, great to have him in the UBC, and Exodus, they have got 2 outstanding sides.
That was a big get there. I know Scotty was on a number of team lists, so I'm sure the Exodus crew will be delighted with that team, particularly that combination with Wayne Rudiger, 2 South Australian boys.
Yeah, and the ever reliable Nathan Rice.
Team number 14.
NCE Raptors select Brett Spur.
Well, Brett Spur has been a previous winner on the UBC events, and number 1 pick for the NCE Raptors, Brett Spur. Casey, you just mentioned about Scotty T with the prior selection. There is a number of people who are on a number of lists, so as we go through tonight, there will be probably some people out there really hoping their ball gets picked, so then they're up there and they get their priority picks.
Absolutely, yeah, there's quite a few, so creates a lot of excitement for the night.
Team number 3.
Brighton Blue Devils selects Scott Mortimer. Another outstanding young Victorian. Scotty Mortimer, great guy.
Yeah, well, Brighton Blue Devils, new kids to the block, and Dylan Fisher and Scotty Mortimer. Look, sort of they're younger sort of players, and I think they'll bring a lot for the Brighton Blue Devils. I'm looking forward to seeing them play.
Two good mates as well, so it means they're going to be compatible.
Well,
It's going to be hard to beat.
We do talk so much about combinations and whether they're friends off the green, friends on the green.
Team number 19 next.
Southern California Tsunami select Sean Baker, another player who was on multiple lists. So team owner Lauren Dion, I know he'll be watching most likely at the Broad Beach Bowls Club tonight. He'll be delighted to secure Sean Baker.
Yeah, absolutely, a great pick. And we know Bakes in every single format. He produces the goods. He's played with the Tsunami before as well.
Yeah.
So let's wait and see who they do pick. Will it be Lauren or will he miss out? We'll wait and see.
Next up, we've got team number 12.
Moama Black select player Cass Millerick.
Yeah, good selection there. And look, they're just going with their strength that they had at Moama. They had such a good event there, so they've got their same 6 players in their 2 franchises. They're the first first club to have 2 franchises in the UBC. Can they continue on their winning ways? I'd say yes.
More than likely, they're going to be hard to beat, no doubt.
Not many to go, not many balls to go.
22.
Superloop Challengers select Lee Stinson.
Yeah, a very solid pick there. So, as we know, Superloop pre-selected player was Sean Thompson. So their first selection with the draft, Lee Stinson. Lee is actually a member at Warilla Bowls Club. He's very good on the carpet there, so he's going to be an absolute asset for Superloop, one of the new teams in.
Team number 10.
Flemken Colts select Jordan Yates.
He'll bring a lot of energy to the rink. As we know, with the Colts and their success in the past, a lot's been revolved around Jordan Yates. He's got that passion, he's got the energy levels that the Flemken Colts and their big supporter base, they just love it, they relish it.
He was great in last year's events as their 3rd player as well, so it'd be good to see him step up here.
Absolutely. Not many to go now, Soph.
No, only a couple left. Third last one is team number 7.
Deer Park Club Gold, Ryan Tayton. You'll be happy, Ryan Tayton, to be at home watching a local Deer Park Club player. So he joins Jay By Norris, going for the all Deer Park team there. So
Okay, going down that line, it's always good to see, you know, the clubs who have got franchises in the UBC, and we speak about combinations, so people who play together and play in different formats, you know, take it to the UBC.
absolutely.
Second last one is number 18.
South Island Storm select Roger Stevens.
No real surprise there, Case. South Island Storm, they've been a great supporter of the UBC. And look, to have Roger as their first draft selection, no real surprise. What we will wait to see is whether Bronwyn will get picked up as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see Bronwyn coming up very
In trouble if he
shortly.
doesn't.
Okay, so who have we got? Lucky last.
Lucky last, we've got team number 5.
The Dandenong Club select Sean Ingham.
Well, a big pick up there for the Dandenong Club. Once again, the combination, Gary Kelly, Barry Lester, and look, predominantly Barry just leads up all the way through, but now you've got Sean Ingham there. You know, it might take a little bit of workload off Bazza.
Absolutely.
And we've seen what Sean can provide, especially with Exodus in the past, and they've been winning combinations there. So look, that's a really interesting side there, and one that I see going a long way, because Dandenong, the first couple of years, they were almost unstoppable. And it's probably been a couple of the slow events for Dandenong, so maybe change a couple of things up there, but still they've got Gaz and they've got Baz, and I think that's a real good side.
Absolutely. I think they've done really well to secure Ingham with the last pick of round 1. So they'll be pretty happy club there at Dandenong.
Yeah, I think some of the other people, Nick Cahill getting selected, like he burst onto the scene at Moama, a Golden Touch winner. Turles, once again, he was on a number of teams' lists, but for Moama to grab him, I think that's a really big thing. Keep those winning sides together. Young Kyle Hansen, he's gone from the Broadbeach Lions to his home side, the Point. And Bowls Asia Eagles, no real surprises. We think that's sort of the way the draft night's going to go. They're tried, they're tested. They've got major support on the Asian sort of side there. Case, some of the players that you've seen stand out?
I think it was great to see Scotty T back in the events. And I know he was dying to get to that Exodus team, so it's worked out perfect for the Exodus team and Scotty with that. He combines well with Wayne Rudiger and, of course, Nathan Rice as a skip. So that's going to be a really good combination. And great to see Bushy gets to his home club in the Deer Park, the blue side. So from a personal point of view, I'm delighted about that one.
Yeah, look, I'm sure there's a lot of team owners out there who are quite happy with the way the first round of the draft went. I know there'd be a couple of little surprises there. There'll be some players watching now very happy with where they've landed. There'll still be a lot of nervous people. As we know, 214 players in the draft, and they're just waiting to see where they get selected. If they don't get selected after 3 rounds, then they are a chance to the wild card. Look, we're going to head to round 2 shortly. Before we do that, we'll head back to Moama, where Jamie Rogers caught up with Moama superstar Kevy Anderson.
Well, Kev, Wayne and Ryan nominated you to stick around and do the 60 seconds of rapid fire. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, I've got to do something this week, I suppose.
All right, well, your time starts now. Favourite food?
Salad.
Holiday destination?
Fiji.
Most embarrassing moment?
I don't get embarrassed.
What's your go-to song to pump up before a match?
Robbie Williams, Angels.
Who's your bowling idol?
Ryan Bester.
What keeps you playing bowls?
Ryan Bester.
So if you weren't a star bowler, what other sport would you play?
Soccer.
How important is it to have camaraderie in terms of success?
Very.
Why should someone start playing bowls?
To be like Ryan Bester.
What makes UBC different to other lawn bowls events?
It's just better.
Now, are you superstitious?
Nope.
So do you have more success with blue bowls or orange?
Orange.
When did you deliver your last wrong bias?
Never.
One word to describe UBC.
Cool.
Who has a strange warm-up technique?
Ryan Bester.
Who's the most competitive in your team? I think I'm going to know the answer to this already.
Wayne Tully.
No. Which bowler do you think spends the most amount of time on their appearance before a match?
Ryan Bester.
Well, Kev, thank you so much for your time. I'm sure Ryan Bester's going to love these answers.
It's always a good chat with Kevy, isn't it? There's plenty of laughs, and what he brings on the greens matched by what he brings off the green. And we know he'd be in for a pretty big couple of weeks too up at Broadbeach. He's got the pairs and the fours, and there'll be the Australian Open coming up, so no rest for the wicked for Kevy.
I know he'll be tuned in, so big shout out to Kev and another fantastic supporter of Moama of the UBC. So thanks, guys.
All right, so Soph, let's go. Here we go, round 2, eh?
First one is Team 26.
Whittlesea Eagles select Nick McIntyre.
Okay, third player there, Nick McIntyre. So that wraps up the selections for Whittlesea with Lee Schreiner and Nick McIntyre. A real good replacement, as we said. Benny Winter was the third player when they had the success there, but I don't think they're going to lose anything with Nick.
No, absolutely. Club coach, general manager of the club as well. So former Victorian representative, so fantastic pick up there for Whittlesea.
Yeah, I see Whittlesea popping up a lot lately.
Second one is Team 11.
Golden State select player Dale McWhinney Shillington.
Well, it's a new one to the UBC, Dale. So it'd be great to see Dale. We know he's quite passionate about his bowls, so he'll bring a lot there, especially with Dan the Man and Selena. So
Yep.
Golden State all locked up.
Nice team there.
Team 22.
Superloop Challengers select Travis Moran.
Okay, young Travis. Well, Travis is he's had an incredible rise in the sport of bowls. Like he's still very young, but he's won the New South Wales Reserve State Singles Championships. That's for open, you know, like that is for all ages.
Yep.
So he's won that a couple of years ago. He's moved to Warilla, so he knows that carpet as well. So no, very good pick up there for Superloop. It'll be great to see young Travis playing in the UBC.
Next up, we've got team number 4.
Bundoora select Liam Turner. So Liam's a local Bundoora player, and as we see, he joins Dean O'Neill and Ben Winther.
Yeah, we've seen Liam in the UBC before. So with Benny Winter and Dean O'Neill, that's going to be a very interesting side there. It's great to see those three together representing Bundoora.
We've got team number 14.
NCE Raptors select Ben Hubbard.
Very good, very good. So we've seen Benny before in the UBC in a number of different sides, but look, that's great to have him as part of the Raptor outfit. We've just gone from Bundoora to Raptors. Tony Chavello, we know the support that he brings to the UBC. Brett Spur, Ben Hubbard, that's shaping up to be quite the side there, the NCE Raptors.
Team number 17.
Port Sorrel Sharks select player Aaron Jago.
Well, that locks up the Sharks, and it's great to see, as you mentioned before, look at those three younger sort of players there, Amity Bickley, Cody Marshall and Aaron to finish up the lineup. But it's going to be really interesting to see what they provide in the UBC. Very exciting times ahead for the
Absolutely.
club.
Team number 2.
Asia Tigers select Farrell Iswan.
Another formidable player, Case. Someone who's played in all the events around the world, had the great results. We've seen in the UBC the efforts that can be provided. So look, that's shaping up to be another very strong side there, the Bowls Asia Tigers.
Team number 19.
The Southern California Tsunami select Aaron Zangle.
There we go. With a Z
Starting to
or a
take
Z or a Z or a Z? It's good to have Aaron back. We've seen Aaron previously. He missed out at Moama, but that's great to have him back. And there's only one spot left. Lauren Dion is floating. He's floating around somewhere in the draft, but it'll be interesting to see, will he be pick number 3 for the Tsunami?
Next up, we have team number 10.
Flemken Colts select John Green.
Johnny Green, he's a previous UBC winner. He brings a lot, not just on the green, but off the green as well. He's a great team player. So, well, there we go. Another shirt for Johnny there with the Flemken Colts. And,
Third
joining
UBC
us.
team, I think.
Third, yeah.
Number 1.
Asia Eagles select Vivian Yip. Experienced Hong Kong international Vivian, another female player, which is fantastic for our events. But she's played in the UBC before as well, so great to have Vivian on board.
Great supporter of the UBC. Brings a lot of flair to the green as well. The Eagles and the Tigers, they're very much going along to their plan.
Next up, we've got team number 18.
South Island Storm select Bronwyn Stevens. There it is.
There it is. Roger and Bronwyn, great supporters of the UBC. And look, you can't have Roger without Bronwyn, you can't have Bronwyn without Roger. So it's great to have those two and representing the South Island Storm.
Absolutely.
They'll clock up a lot of wins. I reckon we're going to see them in the finals.
Team number 21.
Shrieky Bay Sharks select Tyson Wilson.
Okay, Tyson Wilson with Nathan Black there. So they're the first two players picked for Streaky Bay. So we're starting to see a bit of a different lineup here from Streaky Bay. We did hear rumours prior to the draft, and then look, that's the way owner David Edwards is going about this Streaky Bay side. Let's see if they can get the wins on the board come Marilla.
Nearly there. Third last one is team number 3.
Brighton Blue Devils select Russell Green.
Very experienced player, Russell Green. And just to go along with Scotty Mortimer and Dylan Fisher, that is a very handy lineup case, a very handy lineup for the first time for the Brighton Blue Devils.
On paper, it looks very strong, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah. I think that's going to be a side not many people are going to want to come up against. 2 to go.
Second last one, we've got team 16.
Payola Phoenix select Nick Gosley. So Nick's another Queensland junior, former junior representative, but he played in that Payola team last year and did quite well.
Yeah, just another one of those players, Case, who's been involved in the UBC. So sometimes it takes a little bit of getting used to, but he's got the experience there, and he did play well. He did play well last time in the UBC. So a good combination there, Mark and Nick, they're building.
Lucky last, we have team number 7.
Deer Park Club Gold select James Pearce. So another Deer Park member there. James will be watching pretty closely tonight, so he'll be delighted to be selected there with Ryan Tate and Jay Bite.
Yeah, well, it's just another one of those stories where the franchises owned by clubs generally are going down that passage of picking the players that they know can combine well. And he's been playing phenomenal, sort of a career best form, you'd almost say, Case.
Absolutely. Those two players, Ryan Tate and James Pearce, were arguably our two best players in Pennant this year, which we obviously won Melbourne Premier League. So, yeah, delighted to reward those guys with a UBC berth. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing what they can do.
Some of the people sort of stand out a little bit to me with that, sort of going through the round 2. Aaron Zangle, great to have him back in the UBC. I remember the last time he played, he was there from, he was the first person there, last person to leave, and what he brought to the event. So it's great to see him back. Another person with that sort of energy is Ben Hubber.
Yep.
Get him on the greens. We know he's working hard off the greens in his little plumbing business. Well, I can't even call it little, a big plumbing business, but no, he's going great, and it's really going to be good to see his energy. And then John Green. He's the ultimate team man, okay? So he won the event with the point at Deer Park in the inaugural year.
Yep.
And he's played in a couple of other sides, and now he's got his chance with the Colts. So a couple of players there which will be really interesting to see, and some of the people who stood out to you, Case.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think there's probably a couple that still are to come that haven't been called out yet, and we've got some international players still. John Fleming of Scottish International played for Dandenong Club last time, so he's still to come. Lauren Dion, is he going to get called out? He's got his 2 first players there, but will he be the 3rd one? Yeah, well, the Tsunami only just missed out. Sort of last event we go back to Moama. It was just a win or 2 here or there. I could have seen them in the finals. And as we know, once you get to the finals, anything's possible. You just get on that little hot streak. You can go all the way through from qualifying almost 4th in your section right through to taking out the big money. But look, that's round 2 done. What we're going to do now is, though, we're going to head to Jamie Rogers, who's got some clips with some of the stars of the UBC we caught up with at Moama.
What is the meal that you have after a win?
Beer. Do enjoy a good old pizza.
Oh, I love good chicken snitty. Lots of bourbons.
What's the go-to song to pump you up before a match?
Probably, it's really weird. Justin Timberlake gets me going, so a bit of what comes around goes around, something like that.
Anything techno, something disco, sort of in the mood.
Not Afraid, Eminem.
And who's the most competitive bowler?
Most competitive bowler, Corey Wedlock.
Probably Aaron Sheriff.
What is the meal that you have after a win?
Beer. Do enjoy a good old pizza.
Oh, I love good chicken snitty. Lots of bourbons.
What's the go-to song to pump you up before a match?
Probably, it's really weird. Justin Timberlake gets me going, so a bit of what comes around goes around, something like that.
Anything techno, something disco, sort of in the mood.
Not afraid of Eminem.
And who's the most competitive bowler?
So, Case, it's always
Most
good to
competitive
get an
bowler,
insight
Corey
into the
Whitlock.
players. As we know,
Probably Aaron
there is a lot of funny things that happen at bowls clubs and away from bowls clubs that involve our bowlers. They're superstars on and off the green. But how good were those beanbags?
Absolutely, they got worn out
Yeah.
at Miami. So
There was a couple of players who actually had a little bit of a snooze in between games on them as well. So, but look, that's the beauty of having our players and having the access to the players, and that's the beauty about the sport of bowls. So, if you are around any of our venues when we are hosting our UBC events, make sure you pop down to the venue and see some of these players. They're world star superstars, but they're always there to have a chat and have a bit of a laugh. But now, for round 3, we're going to go to round 3 now, and we're going to dictate who is going to be the lucky last players selected for UBC 2023 to be held at Warilla.
Number 1 of round 3 is Team 21.
Streaky Bay Sharks select Damon Edmonds.
Damon, how good. So he's been a great supporter, as we know, with Streaky Bay, team owner, and he's gone down a little bit of a different line here. Nathan Black, Tyson Wilson there. So look, let's wait and see. I'll actually hope to see a lot of Damon on the green because a couple of the events that he's actually chucked them down, he's been one of the best performers.
Absolutely, he's a quality player. So yeah, great little team there.
Next up, we have Team 16.
Fialba Phoenix select Glenn Pitts.
Glenn Pitts, okay, former New South Wales. He played in New South Wales. He's headed up, I think, into Queensland now.
Yeah.
But that obviously goes to show that it's one of those teams who will pick combinations here, players who have played together before.
Yeah.
And I've seen Glenn on the rise. So, no, I think that's a really good pick there. Mark and Nick and Glenn, 3 mates who are going to go into battle for the Fialba Phoenix.
Next up, we have team number 2.
The Asia Tigers select Emma Farina.
Okay, so that rounds out the Tigers and another formidable side. As we know with the Bowls Asia sides, they're on the improve. I think it's just the format, so each time, each event that they're playing, they're getting better and better, stronger and stronger. We've actually seen a couple of Bowls Asia sides into the finals, so can we see them deep into the finals, but possibly at Warilla?
Absolutely, particularly with this Tigers team, you know, they're Malaysian internationals, so yeah, they'll be one of the favourites going into most events.
Next up, we have team number 14.
NCE Raptors select Adrian Marchioli.
Okay, so that rounds out the NC Raptors, and that's a completely different side than what we've seen from the Raptors in the past. But look, we have seen Adrian play in the UBC before, so Brett, Ben and Adrian for the NC Raptors. Look, Tony Chiavello's hoping for big things, and I think they'll provide the goods.
Next up, we have team number 18.
South Island Storm select Dean Drummond.
Okay, so Dean Drummond, he'll be the third player there for South Island Storm. As we see, Roger Bronwyn, Dean Drummond, South Island Storm back in the UBC and back ready to fire.
Next up is team number 19.
Southern California Tsunami select Lauren Dion.
There it is. There it is. We knew that was coming. So well, you can't have the Tsunami without Lauren Dion, can you? And you can be sure that he'll be in the commentary box at some stage. He'll hope it's not during the finals, but we guarantee that Lauren will be in there at some stage.
Second last, we have team number 10.
Flemken Colts select James Webster.
Yeah, James Webster, very good player there, rounding out the Flemken Colts. So once again, we see, apart from Jordan Yates, a very different Colts side there. And maybe it's just going with the J's, 3 J's. You know, you got Jordan, you got John, and then you got James. So the 3 J's. Triple J might jump on board as a sponsor for the Colts. Lucky last of the draft.
Yes. And I think this happened in round 1. Lucky last is team number 1.
And that will be Asia Eagles, and they select Dorothy Yu.
No real surprise. We've said it all night with the Bowls Asia sides that they go with the tried, the tested, the people they know and know who can play together. Dorothy Yu has played in the UBC many a time, so look, it's going to be one of those sides who they're always on the improve. You know, they put everything into it as well. So very, very interesting sides all over there. A lot are predictable in the way that we know they've got the combination set, but there have been some changes. There's been some player movements. And speaking of players, a couple of team owners in the round 3 there with Lauren Dion and Damon Edwards. No surprises there, but it was sort of one of those interesting things where, you know, you're always predicting or you're thinking they're going to get picked, but wait and see, you know?
Absolutely. I think a number of these teams, they're new look too, so that creates a bit more excitement for our events. Different players wearing the new shirts, so it's going to be quite good.
And Sophie, you've done a fantastic job, so you can come back and join us now. And just before we do head to the wild card, so we spoke about a couple of the teams, such as the UBC wild card, which will be doing the draw now. But Warilla had their 3 pre-selected players, and St John's Park 3 pre-selected players. So the Newlyn side, so they actually have qualifiers, okay? So they've already held their Event 1 qualifiers, so that the winners of that will play in the first 2 days at Warilla. So Event 2, their qualifier is actually coming up, and they're still looking for some teams. So if you maybe miss out on a wild card and you feel like a trip over to New Zealand, just head to the UBC website to find out some more information. I know Rebecca Jelly's well behind getting all the qualifying stuff sorted for Newlyn, and that'll be on the 24th and 25th. So the winners of that will play in the second event, and then third event of the Ultimate Week, you'll actually have Olivia Bloomfield, Hamish Cape and Adam Wisnowski playing for Newlyn. So look, there's going to be plenty of flavour there for the Newlyn. Potentially the Event 1 winners could win Event 2, and they'll be out here for 4 events. But with the wildcard, so this is a great opportunity and one of the great things about the UBC. People put their name in for the draft. We had 214 people put their name in for the draft for this Ultimate Week to be held at Warilla. And we've had all these selections. So round 1, 2, 3, you might have missed out, okay? But you've still got a chance. So what we do is we pick 3 players out of the draft, and these 3 numbers, they'll pop up. So the first number to come up, if you're in the draft and you haven't been picked, well, you will be the Event 1 captain. So that'll be over days 1 and 2. The second number to come out will be captain number 2. And then you'll have days 3 and 4. Days 5 and 6, therefore, Event 3 captain, third number out, if they haven't been selected already. Following the draft, you get in touch with Mark Casey, and then you can select 2 further players who are in the draft and have not been selected. If you're a male, you must pick 1 male, 1 female. Okay, if you're a female, same again, male and female. So what you do is you just pick at least 1 from the opposite sex. Well, we're almost there. We're almost ready for the wild card. Have you got your name in the draw case, or?
Unfortunately, I'm not.
No. And so if you're busy, that you would have been back in it because you actually played in the last UBC event.
I did,
really enjoyed it, yeah?
Loved it. It was something new for me, but definitely something I'll do again in the future.
All right, so what do you think, guys? You reckon we head to the wild card draw and see who our lucky people are going to be? And you're going to call it out for us?
I am, yes.
All right, well, here we go. The UBC wildcard draw for 2023, Ultimate Week at Warilla, August 6 to 11.
$156, and we have Glenn Pitts, who has already been drafted to Paelba, so we're going to redo that one. Well done to Glenn, though. It's hard to get a drawing on this one. 108. We'll go back a page. We've got Tim Love from Fig Tree Sports.
Well, it's not going to be far at all. Fig Tree Sports is literally it's 5-minute drive, 10-minute drive to Warilla. So that's going to be great for him. He'll probably have a lot of family and friends there to support. That's really good news for Tim.
Absolutely.
There. Number 2.
Let's do it.
So he's captain 1. So Tim, following the draft, you can get in touch with Mark Casey and have a look at the draft and see who has been selected and pick your 2 teammates.
148. We have Shauna O'Neill from Club Tweed up in Queensland.
Okay, well done to Shauna. Okay. Well, there we go. So we've got Tim and we've got Shauna. They're obviously going to be very excited. And our captain number 3, our lucky 3rd person, this is where everyone's getting nervous. This is their last chance. Well, last chance to be picked as a captain.
184, which is Josh Studham from Somerton, who will be swapping uniforms from the Streaky Bay that he used to be in.
Yeah, so that's a big one there, Case and Soph, because as we know with Josh, he's played a number of games in the UBC, so he'll know exactly the format, he'll know exactly the strategies to implement, and now he's got free reign. So he won't be, Damon won't be saying you've got to do this, you've got to do that. So Josh will now be, he'll be calling the tricks as the captain. But yeah, so with the 3 captains there, make sure you do get in touch with Mark Casey. Well, so there's still 6 people to be selected, but they won't be selected tonight. There'll be 2 each from those captains, as you see on screen there, Tim Love, Sean O'Neill and Josh Studham. Pretty much all the sides are set now for our Ultimate Week 6 to 11 of August at Warilla. The beauty is now you know where your favourite players or player might be playing. Jump onto sportscentre.com.au. There is absolutely fantastic merchandise. You can get your hoodies, your caps, you can get your beanies, you can get your shirts, all the playing gear. It's all there at sportscentre.com.au. Case, Soph, have you got any standout teams? Do you want to pick any teams that you want to go for? Obviously, Case is going to go for Deer Park. I've got the point. Is there anyone you want to jump on? We'll throw a couple of others. So, obviously, you're going to go for some of the female sides as well.
I will. I'll definitely back Selena over at Golden State. I think she's a fantastic player. I actually met her for the first time here at Miami.
Yeah.
And she was as lovely off the green as she seems to be on the green. So I think I'm going to have to go with at least one of the American teams. You can't go past a Miami or a Deer Park or an Exeter's because they've just got some great players in the draft. I'm actually going to throw one out with the new Streaky Bay team because I'm quite good friends with Nathan Tice, and those 2 are quite a deadly pair. So I think those 2, alongside with the owner, I think they're going to do a really good job. So yeah, they're my couple.
Yeah, nice one, Soph. Let's look. I've pretty much picked half the field there because you said Exodus, Moama and Deer Park.
I know.
All of those
I can't really pick one of the 2.
No, look, you're hard to go past those.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if you had a tipping comp with the UBC, you'd have those 3 lots of 2 franchises in there every day of the week. Case, anyone else that we might have missed there?
I think Soph touched on most of them. Like Warilla and Exodus Blue are probably going to be the 2 favourites going in. I'd like to think one of our Deer Park teams will do well, but you know, St John's Park, don't leave them out. First time in the event, Ben Twist, season campaigner. It'll be great to see them do well as well.
Yeah, look, I'm thinking big things for the Saints. First time in the UBC and gone in full power, you know, 3 pre-selected players, and as we spoke about with Dawn Heyman, Maddie Peterson too, you know. No shot clock, very meticulous with his delivery. But I'll tell you what, he is going to be one to watch. When he jumps on the jack, that's the end of it. We spoke about the merchandise for SportsCentre, sportscentre.com.au. You can get the merchandise from all the teams featuring in the UBC. So if you're going to head to Warilla, even if you're going to be watching from home or your club, make sure you grab a hoodie or grab a cap and show your support. There's 6 players who will be getting a tap on the shoulder or a phone call or a text message over the next couple of days. And when the team captains do organise that, make sure you tell Casey because he'll get that all sorted just to make sure it's all locked in. If not, there is actually still that second qualifying event at New Lynn, 24th and 25th of June. So make sure if you want to go on a little holiday, potentially book your spot at Warilla, then head over to New Lynn and jump in the qualifying. There's still a couple of spots there. Look, thanks very much for joining us tonight. We're looking forward to Warilla. And thanks very much, Soph. Thanks, Case. Brilliant as always, but I cannot wait. These teams look fantastic, and I'm sure we're going to have an absolutely brilliant week at Warilla for the Ultimate Week in August 6 to 11. We'll catch you then.